This episode is sponsored by Rockstar Connect at rockstarconnect.com. Let Rockstar Connect help your brand become a rock star in your industry and create local celebrity status in your sphere through monthly meetups and networking events. Find the next Rockstar Connect event in the Triangle or in your area at rockstarconnect.com/events.
Thank you for listening to the Guys Who Do Stuff podcast. Visit guyswhodostuff.com. You probably shouldn't Google that.
I am Joe. This is...
Hola, everyone. Josh here.
And this is Guys Who Do Stuff, where we help you get unstuck, tell a better story, and have a good answer to the question, what are you doing today? And today our guest is Kris Schultz. Kris, who is a publisher at Cary magazine, where he manages advertising and also handles sales for other regional publications like Southern Living, Coastal Living. He's been with them since 2008. Welcome to the show, Kris.
Yep. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about what you get to do over there at Cary magazine.
I get coffee for everyone every morning. And no, I do a lot of sales. A lot of what I do revolves around sales and just managing the budget of the magazine.
Yeah. Is there a secret to advertising that you can share with the business owners and entrepreneurs in the Guys Who Do Stuff audience? Is there a secret sauce?
I don't know that there's a secret sauce, but with us, I do think that it helps a lot that we touch on a lot of different points. I mean, a lot of people say we want to stay away from print. We do digital. We like to do events. At Cary magazine, we do them all. We do have our print publications. We do have a very strong digital presence. We have over 40,000 email addresses for folks in Cary and Western Wake that we've built over the past 15 years. Being able to touch on several different levels of marketing is kind of the secret.
So it's probably not one thing, but it's a collection of things.
Right, and there are definitely different ways to go about what you're doing. I mean, from an advertising standpoint, with Cary magazine, it's very much a branding-based thing. If you're doing print, it's branding. I mean, no one's sitting there and they're going to rip out a coupon from Cary magazine and rush to the restaurant. Now, from a digital standpoint, that's different. If you've got something going on this weekend and we blast out an email that, Ruckus is having an event this Saturday. I don't know that that's true. I'm just example.
Right.
That's more of a direct response.
And it's interesting about like kind of just the state of magazines, because I would kind of be naive, I guess, in my understanding before I started doing research in that, because you kind of just hear like print is having a really hard time. But actually the numbers seem to be indicating that the readership is okay. But the money is not as much there as it used to be.
I knew you were going there. Even before I came in today, I knew you'd go there. But, everyone says print is dead, print is dying. I don't think that print is dead or dying. It's just, it's evolving and it's changing in the way that people are accessing it. I mean, a lot of B2B publications, if you're, and you're in finance and you're used to reading Money Magazine for more of a professional aspect.
Yeah.
You're going online and you're getting those articles and you're reading that in bits and pieces, in newsletters, in podcasts. You're going on different digital avenues. Something like Southern Living and Cary magazine and Coastal Living, that is something that people are, they're making a conscious decision to sit down and just relax and flip through a lifestyle publication.
Yeah.
They don't need that information. They just want to read and feel connected to the community.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was surprised. That number of people is not shrinking. That is not the number that is going down. And the companies that are being successful like yours have found ways to jump into other platforms like events and to get smart about digital marketing and to help people expand their reach and grow through those platforms. I think that's smart. And I think that the other thing that I found that I thought was really interesting, because I think it ties to what you guys are doing, is the other magazines that seem to be weathering the storm very well are in the lifestyle category. Mm-hmm. And they're in like the, I don't know the right way to say it, but like higher end, like luxury.
Luxury, yeah,
luxury, exactly. Yeah. And that happens to be your guys' niche.
Condé Nast and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm curious, as far as weapons of choice, what if any daily habits do you have that you think contribute to you being good at your job?
I don't know if I have any daily habits. I'm really all over the place. I think that makes me, I just jump in every day and see what needs to be done and just start picking things off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Just doing stuff. That's the daily habit.
I
right
mean, guys who do stuff, that is the daily habit. I mean, I just start picking things off.
I think people underestimate that greatly. Like the idea of taking action, like you don't get results if you're not constantly taking action.
Yeah,
And,
certainly a balance. Are you a morning person or a night person? Night owl.
I am not a night owl. I prefer to get up and get the day going and get things done.
Yeah. How long have you been in the area? Are you a native?
I'm a military brat, but my mom and my maternal family is all from Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay.
So all summers, no matter what Marine base we were on, all summers we're in Wilson, North Carolina, and then moved back here in ~96 for senior year of high school at Athens Drive. And
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Athens.
Yeah.
That's a tough high school, isn't it? I mean, can be, right?
I honestly, by the time I moved here, it was my senior year, and the credits that I had transferred, I had to be there literally 2.5 hours a morning.
I mean, tough, and like you got some serious peer pressure there. Like the neighborhood itself is known to be a bit rough, or is that Athens Drive?
I have, maybe I remember there was.
You're a military brat, so nothing like that fazed you at all. You're just like, get out of
I
here.
do remember there was a kid running around with a machete at one point.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm
I
talking
mean,
about.
that did happen.
I knew it.
I wasn't present. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think I was there that day.
Yeah.
But again, I was, I would go in for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Do I think it was English and American history, and then go to Hickory Hams and work the rest of the day.
Hickory Hams. It all started there.
Yeah. Bear Rock Cafe.
You've been in your current profession since 2008.
Correct.
And so I bet you've learned a lot and help in the sales department, which means you get to work with the clients. And so you get to talk to them about what's effective, what makes a great campaign. What are some of the things that you're constantly find yourself coaching people when they're like, do people come to you with like a sense of panic? Like people need to find out about me. And there's that kind of thing.
I
Or
wish people came to me with a sense of panic, and
yeah,
and
you have to go to them and create panic.
You do have to go out and chase things down. People do come to you and they're starting a new business, or they're going to expand. Vibe co-working. I was going over to Whisk. I'm friends with Dan over at Whisk, and I would walk in there all the time, and this one walks up and says, "Hey, I know you get out and about a lot. Do you know of any spaces that I could make into a co-working space?" I'm like, "No, I don't. But let me introduce you to some folks who might, who knows commercial real estate in the area, who knows what might be coming up, what's available, and put them together." And
Yeah.
Voila.
That's fantastic. So if you don't know and you're in the Cary area, we're in Cary Town Center Mall, and we're in Vibe Co-working, which used to be a spa. So it's got all these kind of high-end finishes, and they've created this co-working place that kind of targets on empowering women, and it's a fantastic place to work. It's a cool co-working area, and they definitely have a unique vibe, which is real cool. And I like that it's something else in the mall that's having a really hard time right now.
Yeah. You mean the malls in general are having?
Yeah, malls in general seem to be having some challenges. But things like co-working spaces, gyms, seem to be smart additions to these properties that...
I read that on LinkedIn. Like a lot of gyms are going into old anchors, which, seems smart.
I saw that for the first time when I went to visit my parents in South Carolina. There was a Planet Fitness in the mall, and I was like, this makes a lot of sense.
Your parents are in South Carolina?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They live in Charleston?
Yeah.
You rock star.
Do you know anyone from Southern Charm on Bravo?
I don't.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I know Danny McBride calls it home now, and those boys are making they're just gemstones, Righteous Gemstones, HBO. They're really doing a lot with Charleston. Anyway,
Did you speaking of cool new development in the area, I don't know if you came in through 40. Did you drive by the Fenton and how they're clearing everything out there?
Oh yes, I've stayed on that for a couple of years now.
Yeah. It's exciting to see some movement there, huh?
It is. They were up here a few weeks ago from Atlanta, and I met with them, and it's
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's evolving.
Yeah. They have this teaser video online that just is, I imagine, did its job, which whetted my appetite, but I really want to know more about what's going in over there.
It looks like that video looks like it's like a artificially made drone video.
It does. It is. I think it is an artificially made drone video.
What are we talking about? The Fenton?
Yeah.
So Fenton. I think it's FentonNC.com.
Yes.
Is the website. And it's essentially these, I think it's 42 acres maybe, of of land that they're developing. It's like one of the larger tracts left in Cary of undeveloped land.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get that right?
Yeah, they're going to be. I mean, Wegmans.
Is that where Wegmans is going?
Yeah,
Okay,
Wegmans-
yeah.
Well, that's where one of the Wegmans is going. Another
So
one's going
exciting.
off of 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if they rezone this place, the Cary Town Center Mall, and Fenton going in over there, this side of Cary is going to have quite an upfit
Yes.
by the summer of 2021 is I think what Fenton is targeting.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what the sign over there said now too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's soon, guys.
Yeah.
It's not that
like
long.
2 years from now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited about all the potential places my daughters can walk and have a after school job.
You're excited about your property value.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Go,
I
Jay.
live close.
No, do you?
Yeah. Very much so. So you get to meet with the guys from Fenton? You're involved in that project or
No. Just asking them what's going on.
Yeah.
Just again,
what's exciting that they have going on?
everything they said that was exciting was just stay tuned for a press release. It's coming.
Yeah.
This isn't signed yet. That isn't signed yet. It was.
Gotcha.
They
can't overshare. We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
another IKEA where we all get our hopes up. I remember my favorite meme that I saw when IKEA was rumored to come here. So if you're listening and you're not from our area, there was an IKEA that was supposed to anchor the mall that we're currently in.
Yes.
That the deal fell through.
Yeah.
IKEA changed their strategy and they decided they didn't want to do cities the size of Cary, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But I saw this really funny meme online, or maybe it was somebody in a group text, but they just said, everybody grab your number 5 Allen wrench. We're going to go hope IKEA gets set up.
Meatballs provided.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad they didn't come here actually.
Oh, you don't need any more Hergen Flurgens for your living room? I think it would have been great. Everybody in the triangle would have just instantly adopted a Swedish minimalist style in their homes. It just would have been like, instantly.
X-Torps for everyone.
So I love your approach. I appreciate you just, hey, what's going on? I mean, that's pretty much you're open, right? Like you're inquiring.
Yeah, I mean that's another part of the role that I'm in is just kind of knowing what's next in Cary and just constantly keeping your finger on the pulse of the community and just.
I love that stuff so much. Like, I'm such a nerd about like what's coming to our. I get very excited. Like if I see a sign, like a construction sign, like I wish I knew more. I want to talk all about it.
Well, right. And I mean, and same with me. I mean, I got out of the car. I wanted to get in here, but as soon as I leave here, I'm driving over to where Sears used to be because I saw that they had a banner up and I want to know what the banner's for. I mean, downtown Cary is growing a lot too. I mean,
downtown's exciting.
I mean, it's still, it's small, it's quaint, but you can spend a weekend there. I mean, you can just, a nice little
I love
relaxing.
what's going on with the breweries, and now there's finally restaurants down there. Like when we first moved to Cary, we moved close to downtown. There was nowhere to eat. Like you couldn't go down and hang out in downtown Cary.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the place that on the corner that you could get a couple hot dogs from.
Oh, Ashworth.
Yeah. Which is great, but that's different than like
but I mean, you've got Crosstown. You've got
this was before that existed. So Crosstown's fantastic. Now they got all these cool places to eat downtown.
Pizza Felici. I mean, all that stuff.
The Maiden Inn has really good food.
Yeah.
As well.
And Crosstown is opening like a breakfast joint right next to Crosstown too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that?
great. They need a breakfast joint. That would be fantastic down there. Yeah. That's cool. So what's kind of your favorite part about getting to work in your field?
I think what I just said is just constantly talking to people
Yeah.
and meeting with people and honestly, information is power. So just keep talking with and meeting and networking. And that's the biggest thing is networking.
Right. So how do you, what kind of networking things do you attend regularly?
Yeah.
The world. I'm not one of those, kind of chamber type events or business after hours. I just get out there.
Right.
I mean, just again, it kind of circles back to, what's the first thing you do in the day is just go do stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I find that most people, if you ask questions, they want to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
People are friendly. That's kind of the whole premise of the show, honestly, Josh. I feel like one thing that has been overwhelming for me is how generous people are with their time and their wisdom and what they've learned and how just willing they are to share. Like they just legitimately, seemingly want to help other people out. And that is across the board from pretty much any guest that we've had on the show.
Yeah.
There's not like withholding, like, I'm not going to tell you my secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, that got a little awkward. It felt like ASMR there for a second. I won't whisper again. I apologize. So how did you get into sales originally?
Yeah.
I was in food. Like I wanted to be in food. I wanted to own my own restaurant. I wanted to cook and undo all that. And I worked in restaurants as a teenager. I worked here at Hickory Hams, and then it turned into Bear Rock, and I was with them for forever until I left, really. And then right around 2001, after we moved up to Charlottesville area, I had helped open up a couple delis up there.
Okay.
And realized that I did not want to work 80 hours a week.
I hear that about the restaurant industry. Is it just in startup phase, or is it always like that?
I think it seemed to have been for me always like that. And, again, getting to talk to all the people of the community, I think it just tends to stay that way because there's always a fire to put out.
Yeah. Yeah, restaurant seems like, I get with the appeal. Like, it seems like a very fun thing to do, to get to serve people food and hang out with people, and it's customer service, and it's really hard to not be in a good mood when you're enjoying a good meal.
Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant now? Do you have a favorite food and Raleigh in particular?
Death in Texas is an amazing restaurant.
Death in Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Have you heard of that, Joe?
I haven't.
Death in Texas is one of Ashley Christensen's restaurants downtown Raleigh, and that's a special occasion restaurant. But I would have to say, just kind of for a lunch all the time, I would go to Brewery Bavana. The food is amazing.
Yeah. My wife and I ate there once, and it was one of those things where a lot of the stuff on the menu I didn't understand. Just asked the server what would be good, and oh my goodness, everything we had was so good.
Yeah.
I've learned that too. Like the first time we ever went, you read some of the things and you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But after time, it's like, this thing where it's like, okay, we haven't tried this yet.
Yeah. That's the great thing about a great restaurant. Like, the weirder it sounds on the menu, the more I want to order it from a great restaurant. Yeah. It's like, what the heck is that going to be like? Because you wouldn't think of combining those two things. That must be really good.
Yeah.
Back to kind of getting into sales. Was there anybody did you find anybody as a mentor that helped you kind of along the path?
Not in sales and radio, but when I got back here, there was much more of a mentored approach to SNA Cherokee.
Yeah, tell us about SNA Cherokee.
Yes, obviously, since if I've been there for 12 years and don't intend on hopefully never leaving, I love it. It's a great company.
That was the first thing I thought when I was doing research. I went to their website, and everybody on there under the about had been there for years and years.
Yeah.
And that's an indicator that you got a great company going.
Yeah, we are very lucky to work where we do.
Yeah. So what is SNA Cherokee?
SNA Cherokee is, we do have SNA Communications, which is the PR side of the company, and we have Cherokee Media Group, which is the obviously the publishing side of the company. And
can you rattle off all the magazines that you guys have, all the properties?
So mainly it's all automotive publications, Auto Remarketing, Subprime, Auto Fin Journal, Buy Here, Pay Here. These are all things I don't have anything to do with. I see them, I hear them,
but they were kind of the foundation of the company.
Very much so. I mean,
still a strong.
Oh, that's
factor. Yeah,
the very strong factor, and that is honestly one of the main reasons that while Cary Magazine is a great magazine and it is amazing because we have access to all of these awesome resources that the automotive side has.
This show is produced at Podcast Cary, a professional studio making podcasting simple and fun. Located in Vibe Co-working in Cary, North Carolina. Want to start a podcast to create great content for your business and establish yourself as a thought leader in your city? Go to podcastcary.com. Connect with your audience. Grow your brand.
But our event staff, they do events all over the country.
Yeah.
Huge week-long conferences. So for them to put on an event for Cary Magazine, for a night it's hard. It's not easy, but it's something that they can very much maintain and handle.
Another thing that I think magazines do that's really smart, and you guys do it very well, is you come up with the regional awards.
Yes, the Maggie Awards, which are being voted on.
I just voted
right now.
You voted yet?
I haven't voted today.
You should vote.
You should vote.
Thanks, guys. I will.
Pick your best restaurant or whatever it is.
Right on.
That is something that has grown astronomically.
And I've heard that from business owners that it's fantastic word of mouth, it's fantastic advertising, and it really helps increase their bottom line if they get to be the recipient of this. It's kind of like the People's Choice Award. It's kind of like this unbiased, this is what the community thinks. These are the good people.
I think that's the great thing about the Maggie Awards is one, it has just, like I said, has grown astronomically. I mean, over 10,000 people vote, not 10,000 votes for.
Come on, that's awesome.
That's a lot of people out there voting.
What's some voter tips? Because I didn't fill in the ones I didn't know. Like I didn't feel like it was a ballot. Like because I like just making up stuff.
Well, and I mean that's the thing. I mean, you got people market this. They're like, make sure you vote us best. Best new restaurant. Mm-hmm. So some places will go in and people will just go in and just vote for the best new restaurant. That was their only interest, and they move on. And a lot of people do kind of follow through, and we hope vote for something in every category. But I mean, it is intense. I will say that.
Yeah. So how does it work primarily? Is there like a nomination factor, or do you guys just total the totals and that's it?
A few years back, we used to have a nomination process, and then we would go in and tally everything up.
And then have people vote on just the winners?
And then no, it was a nomination process. We would go in and take the top 10, like the people or business who had the 10 most nominations in each category, and that would be the ballot for that category. And then we would have just people click on which one they wanted, and then we would go through and tally all that up. What we learned is we were basically doing double work. So we decided to just let people vote, and we'll tally everything up, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's a write-in, so that's got to be a lot of administration on your side. People spelling stuff wrong.
It's not super bad, except for doctors and dentists.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah,
people don't know how to spell them.
No, it's some people use their first name, some people use doctor, some people use Dr. Pierce. So when you got to sort that data,
I like to vote for Dr. Jeff. Oh, which one? I like my Dr. Jeff.
What's the word Maggie? What's that about? Where did it come from?
I think that was before my time, but I think it's a take on the Emmys. It's a magazine, Maggie.
Gotcha.
Emmy,
Ooh,
I believe.
Like the Dundies.
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
nice.
But the thing I like the most about those awards is we really maintain the integrity of those. I mean, we go through and, only one email address gets used.
Gotcha.
If there's duplicates, we remove it all. We verify that those are real email addresses. If we get a bounce back, we go in and remove those.
Gotcha.
No employees, no spouses, no families voting. So, and it is what it is. You got advertisers who spend a lot of money and don't win, and you've got people who don't ever want to advertise who win every year. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What happens.
I think that's one of the things that is great about like this kind of review culture that we currently live in. Like there's this voting by your peers that because of Amazon and the way we shop now has really kind of came into our psyche of the way that we want to do business. And so you're right. Like a Maggie Award is a big deal. Like if you see a sticker up on somebody's business that indicates that they've won the local award this year for the best restaurant, and you're walking down the street, you're probably going to pop into that place versus the one next door that doesn't.
Right. And
because we all don't want to miss out. Like, what is everybody else doing? I want to do what everybody else is
doing. Yeah. It is, you get people who are really adamant about it. They are ramped up. They are ready to go with their Instagram posts and their Facebook posts.
Yeah.
And
I started getting the emails last week from all the things I subscribe to locally. Would you please vote for me on the Maggies?
And just promote it and really stay on top of it. What I find the best is when you go to call a business, in October after we've tallied everything up. You're like, I just want to let you know that you won, best appetizer for the Maggie Awards. What's Maggie Awards? And it's like they put no effort into it, and you're telling them that that's
an indicator that it's a real award, right there.
Well, no, it's just like they're like, we didn't even try to do this, like we didn't, and for them to then they get super appreciative about it. They're like, are you serious? Like we won this, and we didn't even try to do anything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what I like.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's the people that are like emailing you every day for 30 days, like, how we doing?
Oh gosh, drain.
And it's like, don't reply.
Oh yeah. Take note, people out there in your 20s doing that desperately, like I used to do. I did that once for a thing for Peroni beer. I was living in New York City, and I had a friend at the Apple Store in Soho, and I would go by. It was like a voting thing, so it was like one of the dumb things I've done that never amounted to anything. And so you create this sort of video, and then have people vote on it. And I would go in the Apple Store every day, and then all the people that she was friends with, they would all like go and click. And I would go onto every computer and click and click and click and click like daily. And I won the absolute number of votes, and I ended up not winning. I didn't get the award because they must have been able to track that.
I see.
Yeah, so it was like pretty stupid, but I'm telling the story now. But gosh,
they probably did what we used to have to do. Like before there were hot spots, and you would jump on Wi-Fi at one particular place, and everybody was on it. It was. We would just scrub the IP address. Every IP address was different. So if we saw it coming from the same IP address 500 times, you're like, nope, that's wrong. But you can't do that anymore because, I'm sure like in this building, you've got,
sure,
25 people on the same.
Shared Wi-Fi, and city Wi-Fi is becoming more and more popular.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just jumping on the network of like Raleigh's network, it's going to get harder and harder to tell that stuff.
Well, it's good to know you have a high standard of integrity when the Maggie Awards come around. So
you should go vote. There's no podcast category, though. I didn't notice it.
What?
Yeah. I think we added a question, though, at the end this year. What category would you like to see?
I did write. I think I wrote podcast. Or if I didn't, then shame on me.
Yeah.
But I would like to see that category.
I'm going to do it.
I love hearing, I think what's cool about magazines and what's cool about newspapers is I'm curious, do you think that this is happening? I think there's a return to wanting hyper-local information.
There's a return to a sense of community.
Yeah.
And
that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like what you're looking at with the Fenton across the street that's going in, or a Park West Village, outdoor concerts at this, small, well, they're really not small, but, smaller concerts, something you wouldn't go to at like Walnut Creek, but just being able to go to Park West or go to Fenton or go to Parkside and just attend a concert or play at the splash pad at Waverly or play at the park at Waverly and just have restaurants, local businesses. I think there is a bigger return to that.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if it's a reaction to like pop culture is great. I'm glad I'm an American. I love pop culture. I'm thankful for Netflix and all the awesome stuff that exists because of it. So I'm not bashing pop culture at all. But I feel like social media and just if you spend all your time in pop culture and social media, what's missing is the community, like you were saying. Like I don't actually know those people. I don't get to talk to them. I don't get to know what's going on with their family. I don't get to, and you get that with local stuff.
And that's exactly why I don't and never have had a Instagram account, a Facebook account, or a Twitter account. I don't know who those people are. And it's like high school people that want to invite you, and it's like, I haven't seen you in 20 years.
I did that.
I'm good.
Speaking of funny confessions of dumb stuff we've done, like I went through, I tried to be popular on Twitter forever ago when it first came out. So this is this is probably 10 years ago. And I did the thing, follow the rules, right? Like follow X amount of people a day, like this, use these hashtags, etc. Grew it up to I think at the time I got to 7,000 people, which was impressive for a guy that's not a celebrity and really wasn't doing much at that time in his life. And then I finally remember after pouring all these hours and hours and stuff into it, just kind of in a moment of reflection, being like, well, one, it ruined Twitter for me. Now Twitter is a useless tool because it's just a bunch of garbage sauce and a bunch of followers that are just follow back. It was just a bunch of us following the same rules, just following each other back, not interested at all in what each other are doing.
You found 7,000 people like you that just wanted to get to 7,000.
Tapped in, Joe. You
that are never going to look at each other's tweets, that are never going to engage in any kind of meaningful conversation. It was all about the numbers. And it's just kind of fruitless.
Do you accept all the spam LinkedIn invitations too, just to get that 500 plus?
No, I don't. But I learned through that exercise that I was totally doing social media wrong. And I think I abandoned my Twitter for a good couple years just because it was partly embarrassment, partly this was not fruitful at all. And so now I think I'm on social media for the reason a lot of people are on social media, which is to see what's going on in the lives of your friends and family. Yeah. It's a great way to stay connected with, hey, there's a picture of my kids, my buddy's kids going to school. That's great. Stuff you wouldn't get to see if you weren't there. But it can be a time suck for sure. I've heard a lot of people recently talking about how for productivity, It's a game changer to just delete that stuff off your phone.
I've had it off my Facebook off my phone, and it's great. It was like an accident. I didn't know my password to get in. I was just like 2 or 3 days, like I'm gonna get back in, but I never did, and I'm thankful.
You broke the crack habit.
Yeah, it actually helped me to separate and organize my life into okay. Well, I use this device for this for this for that, and it's like helping me get organized.
So, having spent so much time in advertising and marketing, what have you noticed that are strategies that you would tell business owners that if you applied some of these strategies today, that they would compound into big results later?
That circles back to the first question. Like, what's the perfect plan?
Yeah.
And I don't think there is a perfect plan.
I love people that are honest, because I totally agree with that.
I mean, you got to find what's right for you. I mean, people will say, well, I don't think print works. Well, how do you know print doesn't work?
Right. It's like my kids not liking sushi. It's like you would like it if you'd put it in. You would just try it.
Just give it a try. But I see people do some very odd methods where they've advertised with us for 10 years or 8 years, and they're like, okay, we're stopping this year. It's everything. We're just gonna stop everything, and then they'll come back and be like, okay, that didn't work. We do need to spend money to make money. We realize that.
Yeah.
So you just gotta kind of do what you feel works for you. And it's good talking to people and learning more about what does work for them, what they have seen work for them that, you can translate into other businesses.
How do you coach people to find what works for them?
I don't coach people to find what works for them. I got to tell you, a lot of the folks that in Cary that start a business in Cary, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got it figured out, and usually they will hire an advertising agency. I'm not an advertising agency. We sell advertising, and we offer marketing solutions, digital, print, events, but you got to really have someone to sit down and delve into what you're doing and what works. I mean, if you're just going to put an ad in and say, well, we asked everyone that came in where they saw us, and, no one said the billboard. No one said, the TV commercial.
Yeah.
No one said the radio. You can't rely on people to give you the information. You've got to find a way to track it.
And that's one of the smart things behind digital, is they give us so much control over the information and knowing where stuff comes from.
I see that it's you can narrow down some digital to some really scary. I see more and more like shopping centers doing geofencing to see how far people are driving to get to their Target, to get to their Harris Teeter, to get to the shops that they have within, their area.
If you're not aware what geofencing is, can you just lay that out real quick?
So you would set, as if it's, let's say it's Cary Town Center, you'd set up kind of a geofence around Cary Town Center so that when I came in today, it's basically telling you based off of my phone and my billing address where I'm coming from. Like, you've got people from Raleigh coming to Cary Town Center. Right.
So basically it's a tool that allows you to draw a circle around the area that you're mapping.
How would it know you're from Raleigh? Because it knows your phone info?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, it knows all about us. There's geofencing. Geofencing is awesome. I also it's like a push notification when you're super close to something. It's not geofencing. It's beacons. Sorry, it just came to me. They're beacons. Yeah, that's what they're called. You can set up beacons if you own an app. And so if you walk within, let's say you set up some beacons and you're in the mall and you wanted, when you walk by Dave & Buster's, to send them a little coupon for Dave & Buster's. You're here.
It drains the life out of your battery if you have those push notifications on. Because I remember my wife would have it turned on for Ulta, and when we drive past Triangle Town Center or something, it'd pop up a coupon for her.
Yeah.
It's okay, I turn that off. I don't need you to know how close I am.
People find that stuff so creepy though. How do you find the balance of that? Do you find
I don't, that's not something I sell. I don't know if the PR side, our digital side, if that's something they work with. I don't know. I don't like I said, I keep those push notifications off.
Yeah. I think there's a balance. So this is what I think personally. I think it creeps me out a little bit, but then I also am the kind of person that have completely given up on that I'm not being tracked. I just assume that I'm carrying around my phone. There's microphones all over the place. I assume that everybody knows everything that I'm doing. And so it doesn't really bother me too much.
Yeah. put a sticker over your laptop camera. And
Yeah,
everything.
I like the people that do that. They're like, "Yep, now I'm safe."
Yeah, that's great.
That's my wife.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
I've heard a lot of talk, just in not just in the last couple of years, but about how important it is for business owners to build a platform. And you guys have built a pretty impressive platform. And whether it's a platform, they use that word, or tribe, or audience, or community. And so, if it's that important, what are some of the steps that you would help out? You would tell people, man, you guys need to be doing this to start to build their platform and help them get to the next level.
Ask questions. I mean, I think that Cary Magazine has been around for, like I said, this is our 15th anniversary year. Mm-hmm. So, and like I've also said, we are well incubated, but getting out there and getting into the community and talking with other business owners and find out what people want. I mean, we just did our reader survey a couple months ago, and you got to ask people what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you like reading the most about? What do you want to see more of?
Yeah. What
do you want to see less of?
Did you guys find any surprising answers?
No, it's usually a lot of food, and travel.
Yeah.
People like food and travel. And I mean, you had Amber on.
No, she didn't come on our show, but we got to speak with her on the phone.
She dialed in privately.
Oh, okay.
And you guys featured us as a part of an article about the growing of podcasts in the area.
So I think one of the great things that Amber does too is bringing, again, I can't stress the word enough, but community, making sure that the content that Amber creates it can be read anywhere, even though it's Cary Magazine, it can be read anywhere, but she really pulls in local businesses. She could have easily written an article about podcasts using Google and researching.
Right.
But she wanted to talk to you. People in Cary that are doing a podcast.
Yeah.
People locally that are doing, and sourcing that information locally as opposed to just churning out content.
Yeah. Which I think makes the content a lot better. And it was very honoring. I felt very honored to be asked questions. Yeah. And I think that there was a heading above my name called Ear Candy that I just want to put on my that's want that to be my job title on my business cards. Yeah. I thought that was so great. But yeah, she did a great job of just what's happening locally here. And I think that's the information that I find very interesting, as opposed to, because anybody can Google it themselves, just like what you're saying.
She was really good at asking questions,
which
is
great.
Just a real skill. Yeah.
I want to read this Bruce Lee quote because it's one of my favorites. If you always put a limit on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There's only plateaus. What advice would you give to business owners that feel stuck?
I would ask the question to them, how do you feel stuck?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it you think you need to improve? I mean, do you feel like you're stuck because you're not profitable? Do you feel like you're stuck because you don't have enough people coming through the door? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, how do you feel stuck? Do you feel stuck because you can't find the right help? What is making you stick?
Yeah. And then getting the answer to that will lead to help you move to the next level. I want to talk a little bit more about the event side of what you guys are doing. I think it's so smart that magazines and other platform building companies are reaching out into events. So what do you find is what people love about the events that you guys put on?
They love different things about each event for different reasons. I mean, next week we have our Women of Western Wake Forum at the Umstead. That's the 12th year that we're having that event. And I feel like I have a ponytail.
It's the cord from the headphones. Yeah, it's
dude.
like a tiny ponytail, like a Jedi.
It's a little rat tail.
It's a little rat tail, yeah.
Whatever happened to rat tail?
We got to bring them back.
Let's not.
So the Women in Western Wake, 12 years at the Umstead.
That's next Friday, October 4th. I mean, that is just a great women's networking event. Mm-hmm. Each year we pick about 5 women from the community, and we honor them with a Women of Western Wake Award for whatever reason it may be, business, philanthropic, whatever they do. And that is the core content for that issue of the magazine that I also think you guys are featured in. And then in turn, we also have an event at the Umstead where we have a panel discussion, we have breakout sessions, we have a breakfast keynote speaker. Yeah. So it's and again, that's another thing that has really evolved over the past 12 years from being 11:30 to 1:30. Yeah. Like come in, sit down, eat. People are talking while you eat and head out. to, 8:30 in the morning, there's a breakfast. And then, you can pick one of 3 breakout sessions in between that, get your headshot taken, network, and then attend the luncheon where there's a panel discussion.
Between the Maggies, between what you're talking about with the events, it seems like the undercurrent of what you're doing is appreciation and honoring.
Yes, and bringing everybody to get together. And everyone wants an experience now.
Yeah.
That's also kind of obviously the trend is everyone wants to be a part of something. You said, fear of missing out, but it's like the Maggie party that we do. For years, we had a Maggie party, and it was just an event where we would do some awards. We would literally we'd hand you guys your best podcast award. And
we missed it.
I know, it's fine. And, it turned into the idea that you've got over 10,000 people in Cary and Western Wake voting for these businesses, make them a part of it. So, a couple of years ago, we made it a public event, and all the restaurants, if this is the best pizza, if this is the best sushi, if this is the best, Italian, bring it to the party and let the community try it. If someone didn't vote for you, let them taste it. Tell them why.
And I think it's such a powerful draw for community, because you're right. We want community. That's what we're going there for. But I'm much more prone to go to a community event that's built around honoring somebody that's doing a good job or being a fan of something than just like a call to action that feels like, come, pass out your business cards or something that doesn't feel like it's at the core of what would motivate me to go to something. Because I think that's one of the things Josh and I really like about the show. We're just fans of people. Like, I feel like I just want to be business's cheerleader. And I think we all, our town and our city and our areas, our local communities, it's that old metaphor that rising tide floats all boats. Like, we get better together.
And literally every event that we do is basically for, honoring people or someone. So, Maggie Party, Women in Western Wake, Movers and Shakers in June. I think the only one currently that we don't do that's not really honoring anyone is we do a cooking class at Whisk, and that's next Wednesday, and that's honoring Co-On, who's about to open up in the old On space off by Harrison. Their executive chef Drew is going to be teaching the class.
What kind of food is he going to be prepping over there?
It is, I have the menu somewhere on my phone, but it is, I remember words like there's a shoyu glazed chicken. There's a curry, and then Vietnamese coffee cake.
Oh, so Vietnamese style. Inspired.
It's a very Asian fusion. Have you been to Buku downtown?
So, unfortunately not.
Buku was in downtown Raleigh. They closed and are becoming Co-On here in Cary, and they also own Soka in Raleigh.
Very cool. Whisk, what a fun place.
Yeah, I love that place. I never been to a cooking class back there, but it's impressive. The area that they got set aside for. They got the cameras up so you can see what they're doing and everything.
They got the coolest gadgets and everything too.
Yeah. That's the kind of store I could go in and just afternoon in.
Back in the day when I was over there, they had like a little Nespresso machine that they would pour a sample for you, make a little espresso. So when you're in there dropping some, getting some spatulas, say, hey, you got a coffee maker? Yeah, you want a coffee? So I don't know if they still do it, but I just remember Dan and the crew just being real generous and warm and happy.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming in and sharing with us. And if you're on the fence about like, man, should I be doing advertising as my company, or you feel like that's the right move, how would they get a hold of you over at Cary Magazine?
My number is 919-377-9569.
Yeah.
Love that voice. You are a guy who does stuff, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Awesome,
Our
man.
pleasure.
We love making this stuff for you. You can help us out by subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. Get unstuck, tell a better story, and have a good answer to the question, what are you doing today?
Relevant Media Solutions believes that marketing is storytelling. They help take business owners from feeling scared that their ineffective website is losing business, embarrassed of their online presence, and worry that their customers are not finding them, to business leaders with a useful website that grows their business and sees customers return. Let them help you tell your story. Visit relevantmediasolutions.com today.
This episode of the Guys Who Do Stuff podcast is made possible by Forerunner Media. Forerunner Media is a creative agency helping you reach your strategic goals through content creation for social media and other platforms. clients include Porsche USA, BMW Motorcycles, H.H. Hunt, the North Carolina Bankers Association, The Price Company, and Link Business, just to name a few. For every handful of satisfied paying customers, Forerunner Media does a project absolutely free for organizations who are doing good for their communities. Contact Josh.Manning at forerunner.media today for more information. Forerunner Media, your content creation partner.